Puppy, you wanna hike with me? You wanna hike with me? Yes? And carry pack? Oh, you're stinky. You're stinky. You are stinky. You're stinky.
they basically called Mike White and said, this is July of 2020 when COVID had started. They said, do you have an idea that you could do in a bubble that can be on the air in 2021? We'll do it. And Mike said, yeah.
Hello, Craig Adams here. I'm back in my home in Brooklyn, New York after that trip to South America, hiking the southernmost trek in the world, the Teeth of Navarino, which I hiked over 3 days starting on March 1st, 2025. I didn't know that this hike existed before my friend Ryan hit me up asking if I wanted to join. And I'm pretty sure he was asked to join another hiking YouTuber, Alex, who planned on doing it and thought it was an interesting concept to do the most southern hike in the world. So Ryan made the plan and we met in New York and flew to Santiago, connected all the way down to Punta Arenas in Chile. And this would be my 3rd time in the area. The first time hiking the W and the O around COVID. The 2nd time a group trip with my wife and a bunch of other subscribers. And this time doing 2 hikes, the first being this Teeth of Navarino video. Upon arriving to Punta Arenas, Ryan knew some photographer friends in town, so we met them at Lomitos for sandwiches. That night we stayed at Hotel Cabo de Hornos. I'm so American, so if I mispronunciate any of this stuff, don't hold it against me, please. I was trying to get my Hong Kong hiking video all edited, so I would post it up in the lobby for a bit to work on that. The next morning, we checked our bags with the front desk, hopped in a taxi to the airport, and then took a very short flight on Antarctica Airlines, very cool, down to Puerto Williams. I had a window seat, so I had some pretty good views of the mountain ranges with snow caps. The tiny airport there had this wonderful mural, and the shuttle left without us, so we had to walk all the way into town, but there were cows and dogs everywhere, just hanging around. We got stove fuel at a place called Turismo Sheila. There was a great dog hanging out outside that I got to pet. And for this trip, we tried something new. Because it was a loop hike, I decided to go separate from Ryan and Dave the opposite way. This white golden retriever started following me outside of town, and it was nice having a dog companion again. I always love when dogs follow me. It kept throwing me shade whenever I'd set up my tripod, and then right before I got onto the actual trail off of the road, he went somewhere. Who knows where he lives? And for the first time ever, I actually crashed my drone going backwards into a tree, and it got stuck pretty high up. So it took me almost 2 hours of finding, collecting rocks, and then just chucking them up at the spot where the drone was to get it dislodged finally and fell down. And there was only a little bit of damage on one of the plastic pieces. Everything else with the drone worked perfectly fine, but I was just like so tired and sweaty and like frustrated by the end of those 2 hours. This first day had a lot of hills and there were some random horses just chilling. This trail is pretty remote, so the weather can change a lot. It's not that
popular. So the trail is kind of bushwhacking for some parts, and some sections of the trail are very muddy and a little difficult to get through. But the campsites were great. There were these dead white tree branches that people had placed around the spot where tents go, and I think it looks pretty cool. For this trip, I decided to forego my microphone and use the onboard mic on the A7S Mark III. There's something about the onboard mic that gives it like a spatial quality. You can really feel when noise is on your left or right. The only huge downside is the wind. Anywhere there's a slight breeze, or up over any passes, or close to any summits, any wind is just going to destroy the noise for the camera. So sadly, I had to mute a lot of clips in this video. Luckily, the solution to my problem was the sponsor of today's video, Artlist. Their massive catalog of assets included sound effects for wind and ambient and general nature sounds, which I placed all throughout this video. I could fill in those empty gaps in my timeline with beautiful nature sounds of different types, some with bird sounds. For the drone shots, I would use high cliff wind noises and then change the EQ so that it sounds more distant. And I also used Artlist for all of the music that you hear in this video. And I placed the exact links to the music I use in the description so you can use it yourself.
Wow, I sound so much more professional all of the sudden. That's because I'm using the AI-powered text to voiceover feature.
Artlist has a ton of stock footage that you can use in your videos like this. Artlist has tons of LUTs that you can try out and test, including using this sample of this hiker out on a mountain. So that's super convenient to test different color grades. So click the link in the description down below, or scan with your phone the QR code on screen to check out Artlist. And you can be like me to use Artlist on your next project to give it a creative and professional boost that it deserves. At the halfway point, Ryan, Dave, and I met up briefly. We high-fived and then went our separate ways. I record all my hikes on all trails, so in the description you'll see the links to those activities to check them out yourself. Garage Gear Grown recently sent me a care package with a bunch of different hiking goodies, one of them being this Alpenglow little blower that you connect to your battery and it blows up your AirPad for you. It solves a very specific problem that I had, and it's so lightweight and interesting that I think I might keep using it. Some of the drone shots were shot by Ryan while he was hiking on his Mavic Air 3. I was still shooting on my smaller, cheaper Mini 3. And I think because of the 70mm, it's time for me to upgrade to the heavier, bigger, better drone. Having a telephoto on a drone is so cool because it gives you that compression with the mountains in the background, especially when you're going up over a pass. And I also need to stop with the auto white balance on my drone because there are a couple clips where the colors change throughout the clip and it drives me crazy. I'll link in the description all of the items, the hiking filmmaking gear that I used in this video. And as of right now, these are the thumbnails that I'm considering for this video. And since you're watching it, it's published, so we shall see what I picked and what sticks. Ryan and Dave are older and slower, so I finished the hike a few hours before them and enjoyed a nice meal at this restaurant and sipped some coffee in the plaza outside, and there were dogs hanging out. It was just really pleasant to like sit and chill. Until we flew back, we were just in our hiking clothes, so Ryan's comfy camp fit was like exceptional. And the next hike that we would do during this trip was up in Argentina, and that YouTube video should be coming out shortly after this one. I'm recording this video on my new MacBook Air M4. I just upgraded it fully spec'd out, you know, all of the things that I could upgrade I did, and I'm replacing my old 2020 M1 MacBook Air. I did all of my video editing on that MacBook Air, and now I'll be doing the same on this. So for everyone asking if you can edit videos, yeah, you can. I choose the MacBook Air because it's smaller, lighter, easier, and the 13-inch size because it's the smallest. In the past few weeks, I have pushed my minimalism to new levels that I never thought was possible. And I really feel like my creative process is so streamlined at this point. I also got rid of my gaming PC because I felt like winter Kraig had a death grip on me and I needed to get some breathing room and refocus and become more productive in general. Yeah, winter got me down pretty hard, but with the warm weather in New York City, I'm feeling so much better in general. Springtime here in Brooklyn is fantastic, and I can't wait to go for walks with Sasha and Dean and my wife, and enjoy, you know, just being here with my family for a bit. I'm getting back into running in Prospect Park, so if you want to follow me on Strava, that's where the running action will be taking place. And I am super busy with a bunch of smaller brand deals and smaller video projects with companies these next few weeks. So you'll see those as they're posted. And I do have one big, really cool project that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. So hopefully that happens, and it'll be exciting to share that when I can. And wow, you made it to the end. Thank you so much. All right, take care.